All represented here back with another Honkai Star Rail guide. Then I'm here with the full pre-farm guide for the upcoming 2.7 second half character Fugue or Tingyun. In this video I'm going to be calling her Fugue. So this video is going to be taking you over everything you do need to know from getting her from 1 to 80 and maxing out all her traces. Alongside that, we'll provide you some insight on what relics and ornaments to farm in order to prepare for her. Do note this video will not be accounting for a light cone. This will just be from taking her from level 1 to level 80 and also maxing out all her traces with the ideal relics you do want to get. And yep, that's all I want to say. Before I get into the video, if you guys could drop a like, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you haven't done so already or you are new, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Rail content. Be sure to join the new community Discord I have made. It will be in the description below. Server is mainly Star Rail focused, but it's got other things like arc guides, Genshin, general chat, anything you want. And yep, let's get into it. So first off, with the general materials you do want to have. So books wise, you do need about 290 purple books. And as for credits, you do need about 3.9 million credits. For Tracks of Destiny, yes, this time I remembered, you need 8 as she is a 5-star character. And for the common materials, should be using these ones right down here. And you need a total of 56 of the green ones, 71 of the blue ones, and 73 of the purple ones. If you're on the newer side as a player, it's really easy to farm these. You can just click on them and then go to the enemies that need it. You can also set your assignments so you can gain a abundance amount like I have right here. Since if you've been playing for a little while, you definitely will have something similar to this where you just have a bunch and you can just convert it. But if you're on the newer side, just click on it, go around, kill the enemies. A lot faster if you have Acheron as well. And then also remember to set your assignments to it. For the Stagnant Shadow material, she's going to be using the one from the Shape of Scorch, and you need a total of 65 of these. This is probably the easiest mat you can actually get out the way, as you do have a guaranteed amount that will drop based on your Trailblaze level. So this is definitely the easiest to farm and the one you should get away with farming first. So if you don't know where it is, I'll just hit teleport right here. And boom, it takes you here. So if you don't know where this is, it is right here in the Great Mine. So just go ahead and farm it from there. As for the trace material, should be using the one from the bottom Nihility, not this one down here, but the one from the Penacony one. And you will need a total of 18 of the green ones, 69 of the blue ones, and 139 of the purple ones. Definitely would recommend getting the Stagnant Shadow out the way first and then getting on this as soon as possible, because we all know traces are super cringe. So this will definitely take you a minute, as we are approaching not too far away from her banner releasing as well, as it's only about 2 weeks as this video goes up. So getting started on this as soon as possible will help you a lot. And once again, if you don't have this on your map and you want to know where it is, I'll just go ahead and quickly teleport here. Boom, here I am, and it is right here in the Alchemy Commission. Again, right here, so if you don't have it, it is right here in the Alchemy Commission. For the Echo of War boss, she is going to be using the one from Shocker, Fantilia boss fight, and you will need a total of 12 of these in order to max out her traces. If you're a newer player, don't worry, really easy to get this up, as you just need to farm it every week. And since we get 3 runs per week rather than just getting 1, like another Hoyo game that I'll not mention, it is really easy to get that amount. And again, if you don't have it, I'll go ahead and teleport here to show you where it is. Boom, right here. As this is something you do in the story, you probably already have it, but just in case you don't have it, it's also with this big marker here, but it is right here in the Waterscape. Now taking a look at relic recommendations, I do have a full build guide that you can check out right now if you want more in-depth details about the relics and choices. But overall, she is relatively flexible. The thing you really just want to have is something like a 2-piece break set and a 2-piece speed set, since she's going to want to have around the 160 speed mark, or as much as you can get, since it's seeming like she's going to be one that you want to set up right away with. And thanks to her technique, that'll be really easy, but overall you still want her to get a amount of turns that is going to be pretty good. So a lot of builds are seeming to favor the 160 build. So 2-piece speed will help you a lot with that. If you want the most for her super break damage, you can use the 4-piece of the Iron Cavalry set, as it gives you 16% break, and then when you have 150% or higher break effect, break damage you will deal ignores 10% of the defense, and if you have 250% or higher break effect, the super break damage dealt to the target just ignores 15% of the enemy's defense. And as she is the other super break enabler, she is able to make full use of the set, assuming you are able to hit the 250% break effect mark in battle, which even if you're not using the 4-piece on this, you most likely will from the way she is built. So if you want the most damage output from her, then you can farm that, but it's generally more recommended to do 2-piece speed or 2-piece of one of the break sets, since you could also use 2-piece of the Iron Cavalry. You could also do 2-piece of Watchmaker, as it also has the same 2-piece. You could do 2-piece of that and 2-piece Thief, or if you also want, you could do 2-piece break, but if you're gonna do that, you could also just do 4-piece of the Thief set, as it's the same thing of doing 2-piece break, and it also gives you 3 energy if you do inflict weakness break, which it won't always be Tingyun doing it, so you can't always make full use of this, but it's still the same thing as doing 2-piece break, so if you do have pieces laying around, you can do that. And you could also do 2-piece speed as that's not possible, so doing 2-piece of the new Relieved Ordeal, and also doing 2-piece of Hackerspace, since it'll give you 12% speed, which is going to be good if you want to hit those high speed thresholds. So if you have pieces on those sets that have maybe high break effect, but you don't really have much speed rolls, then that can help you hit the speed thresholds that you do want. But it is generally more recommended to do 2-piece of one of those and 2-piece of one of the breaks. And then once again, if you want the highest damage, 4-piece of the Iron Cavalry. For planet ornaments, this is really easy as there's practically only 2 options, so the best one overall is going to be the Forge set, as it gives you 6% speed, and if you hit someone that has a fire weakness, where it gains 40% break effect for 1 turn. For the most part, you will be using Fugue with Firefly, so if you're using Fugue with Firefly, this will always be the best set, as Firefly is able to actually implant fire weakness. So with Firefly, you're practically always going to have uptime on this, so it's giving you speed and also giving you a really big increase to break effect. So if you're taking her with Firefly, this is the set you definitely want to have on her. But even if you're not using her with Firefly, if you look at the weaknesses the enemy have in battle, if they do have fire weakness, then you can go ahead and just take the set, since all you really have to do is hit someone with a fire weakness to get the buff. So if they have fire weakness, or they for the most part have fire weakness, then you could still use this and it will still be completely effective, making this her best one you can do overall. And the only other option you really can use if you're using her outside of Firefly or nowhere that has a fire weakness is the Talia set, as it gives you 16% break effect, and once you do have 145 speed or higher, you get an additional 20% break effect. Effectively in battle, if you do have 145 speed or higher, which on Fugue you most likely will, you get a free 36% increase to break effect unconditionally. Well, 145 speed conditionally, but assuming you have that. And it's a lot easier to get this since you don't have to worry about them having a certain weakness. It is weaker than the Forge set overall, since Forge set gives you speed and a higher increase to break effect. But since they have to have fire weakness, and if you're using her on any other team that doesn't have Firefly or the enemies just don't have fire weakness, then obviously this one's going to pull ahead because it's only a 4% difference in break effect anyways. And it is a more universal option, so those are practically the only 2 options you can really use, unfortunately. And yep, that's practically all you do need to know, but as a quick reiteration, once again you do need about 290 purple books, you need about 3.9 million credits. Common materials she does use are these ones down here. She needs a total of 56 of the green ones, 71 of the blue ones, and 73 of the purple ones. For the stagnant shadow material, she's going to be using the one from the Shape of Scorch, and she needs a total of 65 of these. For the trace material, she'll be using the one from the Penacony Bud of Nihility, and she needs a total of 18 of the green ones, 69 of the blue ones, and 139 of the purple ones. Echo of War Boss will be from Fantilia, and she will need a total of 12 of these. Once again, for the relics, the best thing overall is doing something like 2-piece of one of the speed sets and 2-piece of one of the break sets. So again, Watchmaker, Iron Cavalry, or Thief. You could also do 4-piece Iron Cavalry if you want the most damage out of your Fugue, assuming you hit the 250% break effect or higher mark. You can also do 2-piece of one of the break sets and doing a 2-piece of one of the other break sets, or also just doing 4-piece of the Thief set, as it's the same as doing 2-piece with a little additive bonus of D3 energy when you do inflict weakness break. And if you don't have any of those, you could also just do 2-piece speed, so 2-piece Hackerspace and 2-piece Relieved Ordeals, just so it can help you hit the 160 or higher mark. But it is generally recommended to do at least 2-piece speed, 2-piece break, rather than doing 2-piece speed, 2-piece speed. For the ornaments, overall, Forge set is going to be the best. If you are taking her with Firefly, it's easily her best, and you won't have to worry about not having it up. Or if the battle just has fire weakness, you just check the weaknesses on the enemies. If they have fire weakness, then you can still just go ahead and use this. Otherwise, the more universal option and not needing the fire weakness, the only other option you take is Talia, as it's practically a 36% increase to break effect for free if you do have 145 speed or higher. So if they don't have fire weakness, then you can take Talia instead. It's going to be more universal. But with Firefly or any enemies that have fire weakness, then you take the Forge set. Yep, that is the full pre-farm guide for Fugue. Once again, if you guys found this video helpful, dropping a like is greatly appreciated, and if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon for future videos like this, along with all other types of Star Rail content. Hope you guys found the guide helpful, and peace out.